Welcome to Animal Eye Corner. All you Scientologists and former cultists, hop into my kitchen and we're going to cook up a meal today. Today, I am going to cook mante. It is an Armenian dumpling that's eaten in the Middle East. So, let's get right to it. First, you're going to need 2.5 cups of flour, 1/8 salt. Unless the doctor tells you not to use it, don't use it. 1 cup of that's the pie crust for tomorrow, excuse me. The dough. To make the dough, you need 2 1/4 cup of flour, 1/3 salt, and 1 1/4 cup of water. Let's get it. All right. Sorry, everybody, I didn't grab out the spoons. All right. So, all you out there, all you former ex-Scientologists and cultists, guess what? I decided to change my name once again to Human Animal Audit Corner, because as soon as I hopped off, and it was a whole day, it just actually went down when I changed my name to Human Animal Cult Corner. All of a sudden, everything just dropped. The numbers went down, and it went downhill from there. How? I'll tell you in a moment, but let's get this recipe down. All right, first, oh, jeez. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. Okay, first, you're going to need 2 1/4 cup of flour. Let's get in there and get it. I hope you guys are still there, because I need your views. Okay. All right. Now, the reason for me being in this kitchen is so you can really get back on your feet on your own without that ridiculous cult of Scientology and other cults. So this will actually help you do your own cooking. I'm giving you these recipes to help you do your own cooking. Because guess what? We don't need Scientology. You don't need them at all. So, okay. And then the 1/4. Okay. One-third. Oh, geez. Okay, let me see. I'm going to go over here. Sorry about that, everybody. So this is the 1/4. Yep. So we're going to stick that in there. All right. Now we're going to add 1/3 teaspoon of salt. Now, if your doctor is telling you not to have salt, then don't have the salt. And we all know how behind Scientology is. Now, Scientology was founded in the 50s, and back then, they had no proof that some of the other things in there were a little dangerous. Well, salt was one of them if eaten moderately, meaning have very little of it. And that thing about if you don't smoke enough cigarettes, you won't get cancer. Well, that is false. So back then they did not have any proof that it was unhealthy for you. Okay. And salt was one of them. Back then, they did not have proof that salt raises your high blood pressure. But if you have it moderately, it's not going to hurt you. So let's put it in. I don't have a 1/8, but guess what? I am going to put half the amount in. Geez, okay. All right, there we go. We put the 1/8 in. Or you could just put a pinch of salt, although that is 1/8. So, all right. Now, you put 1 1/4 cup of water. Oh, well. Okay. Here it is. All right, there it is. Pour this in. And then we're going to I'm going to grab the ladle. Now, this is the spatula. Now, there are several different kinds of spatulas. And I'll go over with you another day. So here we go. We're going to stir this up. Okay. Now, yeah, the wild things that L. Ron Hubbard came up with, like, yeah, if you don't smoke enough cigarettes, it's not going to give you cancer. But if you smoke a little bit, it's going to give it. Yeah, first of all, in the 50s, they did not have proof that cigarette smoking was actually horrible for you until the 70s. So, so when they say follow my teachings, he means everything. But yeah, that was just the weirdest. I mean, as years go by, changes would occur. And research would get more better, and people will actually wind up finding out that cigarette smoking was not good for you at all. So, yeah, that's one of the things. And then later on, he said, smoking little of it will kill you, but little of it, more of it won't kill you at all. This is right after the fact. So he had to, yeah. L. Ron Hubbard lied his entire life. All right. Okay. Now, it looks like you can put like 1 cup in there. All right, let's see here. All right. Okay. Yeah. Pour in I think you should pour in 1/4 of it in. Sorry about the dead air, everybody. All right. Now, let's knead this up. And let's see if the 1 cup works. If not, then we have to actually put in the entire water in. Alrighty. Just knead this up. All right. And all right. And you said what happened when I actually changed my name, my channel's name, my show's name? Well, my views just suddenly went down. I woke up this morning and my views just went down. Period. I sat up in my bed. I checked on my views. They were like creatures and monsters, and it looked like people were dressing up for a horror show. And oh my gosh, it scared me so badly that I actually went back down one to, I changed it back into Human Animal Audit Corner. I'm sticking to that. So be sure, note of it, because I am going to make more changes to my show coming up. So instead of Art Friday, I'm going to have my Art Corner on Monday. And as you know, I let you know about the changes that I'm going to make in the future of my show. Okay. All right. And boy, I had a wild time when I got up this morning and found out, oh my gosh, there are monsters around my channel. And I go to my analytics and it plummeted down. All because I changed that name. So I just changed the name back. So I thought that was the best thing I would do. What's going to happen next? We'll find out. So I'm going to stick to Human Animal Audit Corner. Now, you know what? I know none of you are actually staying around my channel after you clicked on it, but I'm going to work very hard to get you to stay. and to convince you that my show is good. So, and my show does a good thing. So please stick around. And I promise you that you will love my show, because I have all the resources for you in case you have mental illness and you just got out of Scientology and other cults. Because I got the numbers, phone numbers at the bottom of my link, and I'll even okay, I'm gonna put a dabble more in, and I'll even and I'll even give the information on the Aftermath Foundation and the SPTV Foundation's number. So hang in there, please. All right. So here's the first though. I'm going to see what's going to happen with the other one. All right. Okay, it's mixing together. All right. Now you can never be sure that the dough is going to be together. It could be sticky. If it is, just put just a little at a time until it's completely gone. So let's see here. Okay. All right. Now I wish I'd grabbed that pastry mix, but I didn't. So, all right. All right. Now I'm gonna just sprinkle a little bit so I can knead it. But it went on, so. Okay. So if it sticks to your hand, just get a little more and then just sprinkle it until it just not sticking to your hands anymore. So, and of course, you know that I cannot use other people's copyrighted materials. I just get little ideas on how to make it and then I rewrite it to fit my own. But if I was going to use somebody else's recipe, I would let you know and just tell you. But I'd rather use my own because of copyright reasons. Okay. All right. Oh boy. Okay. Let's stick some more in. But don't put a whole clump or else it's really gonna be really hard and you're not gonna be able to use it. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, the next thing to do is actually, okay, let me see here. I'm going to have to rinse my hands, so. Okay, now I got the dough off my hands. Now, all right, I'm gonna cut the dough in half. Like so, I use the butter knife, but you can use any knife. So there we go. All right, and then you're gonna take each dough. Okay, now it's not sticking. So if it sticks a little, just use little bits because it's not a sure thing that your dough is gonna have it exactly the way the recipe wants. So I'm gonna stick this one here. And this one here. All right. Now, what else is going on? Well, okay. Let's see here. Now, okay, we're gonna let that sit for 2 minutes, just 2 to 3 minutes. That's it. So it can just rise just a little bit until it's doable enough to roll it out. So that's the way we make the dumplings. All right, where was my train of thought? Yeah, and you know what? I apologize to all of you if you hopped on and it scared the daylights out of you. I was that way, and I'm like, oh no, forget it. I'm gonna change it right back to human animal audit corner because I don't want to scare people away by those things. So I put it right back into not the original name, the second name that I had, which is Human Animal Audit Corner. I'm sticking to that for now. Until next year, if it feels like it's better having that name, I'm keeping it. So I'm going to make plenty of changes to my channel. How? Hop back on each and every time, and I'll tell you. All right. And then I'll also bring you news on one of my tasks that I would perform concerning Scientology. And if it's done, I'll say it so it can be too late for Scientology to do anything. So I'm not going to say what it is. Okay. Now, okay. All right. And then, oh yeah. Okay. Now, each and every time you guys are coming out of Scientology after running from them, it would take time to, I know, since Natalie says it takes years to get out, I understand that. As soon as you get out, I got a couple of foundations. I know every time I come on now, I'm letting you know so it can buy you some time to jot it down, take off. Aftermath Foundation was created by Claire and Mark Hadley to give aid to everybody that's getting out. And originally, Aaron was in the Aftermath Foundation helping people get out of Scientology as well until there was a mishap. Now he has his own foundation. Now they get a choice of two. The SP Foundation and the Aftermath Foundation numbers are the Aftermath Foundation at 188-3002 and in the UK 800-090-372. SPTV Foundation is also at 727-266-5797. The Aftermath Foundation number, easy to remember, is 188-302. That's easy to remember. And the Aftermath Foundation is at 727-266-5797. And there'll be people there for you 24/7. And of course, when one of Stephen Mango's friends from Mangotology, Stephen Mango had one of his friends, he drove him to the SPTV Foundation, or drove him to his house, whatever. He got aid from the SPTV Foundation, and he was paid. He went home. And this is right after Scientology kicked him out. And you know what the reason was? He's a young, gay, 21-year-old. Of course, I can imagine he's about 22, 23 now. So, yeah, that was the reason why he got tossed out, because he was gay, which is a horrible thing to do. They actually want that poor kid to be homeless. That's what Scientology is. If they don't want you, you say negative things about them, or they kick you out. They want you guys who criticizes them, the media, the critics, they'll find ways to get you fired from your job or thrown out of your house. They'll mess with your mail. They'll do whatever it takes to get you thrown out of your house or apartment. They'll do that to you and then have you homeless. That's their form of punishment that they use. And that poor kid got the brunt of it. And of course, Stephen Mango from Mangotology, he helped his friend get back home. Good for you, Steve. And so, all right. So it looks like you have to put in like 1 cup, 1/3 of it. So, all right. Now, looks like it's been 2 minutes. Now let's start making our dumpling or mante. So, all right. All right. Now, and then later on, we're going to make our pie crust for tomorrow's dinner. It's going to be pot pie for tomorrow's dinner. Right now, we're making mante, so we're using a lot of flour today. So, let me get my rolling pin. Yeah, I gotta get a new rolling pin. The paint's coming off of this one, so. Okay. All right. So, in order to actually roll out the dough. You're going to need a little bit. Oh, geez, sweat. Make sure your counter is not wet when you put down the flour because it's going to make your dough stick. So clean it up. I hope you love this recipe when you're done with the recipe that I'm giving you. So when you leave Scientology, you have to do everything yourself now, which is not a bad thing. That's a great thing that anyone can do. You got your job, your first job since they treated you like a slave. Oh well, you were a slave, but however, okay. So this was 2 to 3 minutes. Then you roll out the dough. Now, you roll out the dough. And it has to stretch out. All right, there we go. Then you spread the flour out a little more. Knead it out. And then we're going to grab out, I think, a sheet of pan. Yeah, we're going to grab out a pan. We're going to use this. Now, it should fit every single Monte in it. So, alrighty. Okay. We're going to keep on kneading. We're going to keep on rolling out the dough. Until it stretches out. Yes, it's exactly almost like raviolis, only the end is open. And I will be using vegan beef. Originally, it's made with beef. And with that beef, you add onions and parsley, 1 onion and a bouquet of parsley, fresh parsley. If you don't have the fresh parsley, use about 1/3 cup. Okay. 1/3 to 1/4 cup. If it's over a pound of beef, put about possibly 1 cup in there. All right. I'm sorry I'm being so vague with you. But I want it to be perfect. Of course, everybody wants their recipe to be perfect. But I think the perfect chef would be Sam. Sam, the SP chef. You can ask him, you can ask Jenna. Although she probably doesn't. Okay. Have any cooking questions? You can ask them. So, yeah, you know what? All the old pinwheel, whatever they call this. I forgot what they call this. It would be too old. This was from the 70s. And of course, as you know, the paint's coming off. And I need to replace it. I didn't replace it yet. I should, but I didn't. The paint is coming off it. So, okay. Oh, jeez. I don't know how this is happening since it's at the end. Okay. So then, you know what? I'm just going to put this aside. I don't want anything to happen to it. So we're going to turn it into a pizza-like form. Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's not, you shouldn't have paint on there. So if you have the old version of the pin or the roller or whatever it is they call it, get a new one. I mean, it's not good, and it's not good for the paint to come off of it. Oh, okay, so yeah, and so it's just not good for your health to keep that old pin version. Then stretch it out as much as you can. Or, let me see here. Let's see. Or we could just grab a glass and just roll it like this. We be creative and not restrictive. So, okay. And as you all know, Aaron was found innocent of all charges, like we all knew they would, because guess what? This is Scientology we're talking about. The whole world, whole town knows what they did. So guess what? They really can't go in there and ask, do you know what Scientology is? Or do you have an open mind? Or what? They know, period. So for them, there's no way out of it. So the jury was seated. Probably no one feel well what goes on, because Scientology actually was threatened by OSA and David Miscavige, all because he didn't want to talk to anyone that wasn't a Scientologist, which is so pointless and ridiculous. So pushed him out of that town or downtown, whatever. And that whole place has been sitting empty ever since. And of course, you all know, they know what Scientology does, and there's no way out of it. Never. So they know every single thing that Scientology does. Everybody in that town knows what there does. There's no way out of it. And of course, it's going to end up being a not guilty verdict. Everybody was celebrating yesterday. There's a short in there. Do I want to go through it now? No, because my lights connected to my Chromebook actually broke in the back, so I have to use my light laying on it. So I didn't want to spend so much time actually trying to fix it. So I'm just going to leave it as is. And what's my next story going to be? All right. Now, okay, this didn't stretch out as much, but you know what? It's okay. So now, oh boy. All right. Now we're going to take a knife or whatever. Okay. Oh, yeah, here it is. Or you can take a... Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here we go. You can use it. You can use this to actually cut 1/5 going vertically down, and then you cut it vertically, and it'll be about 1/3. So hopefully I got that. Okay, and this is what the pieces are going to look like. Let me bend this over. Okay. Where is that thing? Ugh. Oh no. Here it is. My light went out. Okay, there we go. So this is what it's going to look like. It's going to be like a strip. So this is what it looks like. All right. Math I'm lousy at, but I get pretty close. So I'm like, hey, what the heck? So cut this. Use a pizza cutter. It's much more faster. So, and then we're going to cut it into 1/3 a piece. Okay. Now, okay. Now, everybody, if you have an opening for Laura FM and you know where she usually hangs out, go to her with the kindness of your heart and just give her a job because she hasn't been working. And yeah, all you viewers are actually helping her put the roof, keep that roof over her head by aiding her like that. She is thankful for that. But if you got a job for her, go up to her when you see her, if you know where she's hanging around. But be sure to look like Hercules and Xena. So, okay, now I am going to put a vegan beef into this. Now, I'm trying to be a vegan. I'm a vegetarian, so I'm not going to use regular beef. But I'm not supposed to breach it, but I'm not going to cram it down your throat either. If you want to use beef, go right ahead. So, all right. All right. This is the vegan substitute beef that I'm going to use. These are the crumbles that I'll be using. Now I'm going to spray this pan, but keep it away from the flame. So, all right. This is more easier than buttering it and flouring it. It's better. All right. So now we are going to take, oh, jeez. Okay, where's the scissor? Oh, here it is. All right. Okay. Now, we're going to put each one in the middle of your squares or whatever, so they can cook and bake. And be sure to preheat your oven to 400. All right. Yeah, here we go. All right, so we put the beef in the middle. All right. All right. Now, on Thursday, it looks like I'm gonna actually have witchcraft versus cults to compare and contrast between them, because witchcraft and cults are different. How? I'll let you know this Thursday when I tell the story. Two differences between actually witchcraft and the cult. The two differences between them, because they're totally different from one another. So stay tuned. All right. So we're going to continue to put the beef in the middle. No, I'll put that here. All right. All right. Okay. So now we're going to put another beef here. All right. All right. Then after I'm done with this, I'm going to make pie crust for dinner tomorrow. We're going to make pot pie tomorrow for dinner. Now, should I make dessert? No, I still have a little left over. I've had dessert for the past 2 months. I didn't want to eat so much of it that my health will go bad. So I waited. So here we go. Put this. Okay. And as you know, we will get it prepared for tomorrow. Now, Joy Vila, the reason why I'm saying this, because Joy Vila doesn't really know the difference between witchcraft and cults. She thinks it's one of the same when it doesn't. That's okay, because we all make mistakes. We're not perfect. So I'm going to have that show for you on Thursday. It looks like it's a Thursday when I finally do it. So if not, and it's late, I'll give you a warning. I'll have my explanation for you. All right. Okay. But I can see how a person would get confused by it. Okay. There. But if a priest or nun says something, they are confused. They just go what the Bible says, which that Bible has been taken out, put in. And one priest in the earlier years, back after Jesus passed on, took it out because he thought it was evil. So there's no predicting what it is. But I do understand the fact that it has to be translated. But taking it out and putting it in is another, because of what it doesn't like what it says. All right. But did they actually do further research into witchcraft? Maybe, maybe not, but they only got the dark side of witchcraft. There's a dark side to everything. You cannot predict it. There's a dark side to everybody. And there's a dark side to a business. There's a dark side to the presidency. Look what's in the office. Yeah, there's a dark side to everything. So do we have to be careful? Yes, we do. Use your judgment very wisely. So I've been studying cults and witchcraft for years, and I decided while I was pursuing the arts to actually tell you the difference between those two. Now, I can understand the priests, the nuns doing their job, fine, but this is what's happened. Their church is declining. Because guess what? Each and every truth is coming out on the internet. So get pieces of information, study on it. Press Wicca or Gardnerian witch. And there are several different branches of witchcraft. You know what? I'm going to save it for Thursday. So hang in there. All right. All right. There we go. All right. Looks like it's done for now. Now we're going to pinch each side of the mante, of the dough. And then we're going to stick it on the pan. So you're going to pinch the sides. You're going to fold it over and then pinch the sides. Okay, so as you know, this is a Middle Eastern dish that's been created in Armenia. Or the Armenians created it. All right. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit more beef in there. All right. This is a little bit more bigger. So, yeah, it's supposed to be this size, but it's okay. So, in fact, you know what? Forget it. Looks like this is going to be the only big one. So, all right. Okay. Put more in there. Now, my Monte always gets a little bit too big, so I'm going to probably have to put more in there. But Joy Vila, she is this amazing, talented person. When she had her introduction, I just wanted to get up and dance. So, all right. Okay. All right. There we go. Now, what else is shaking? All right. Now, is Media 18 still talking about Scientology? I hope so, because guess what? lately he's only been showing off cars and not talking enough about Scientology. But is he actually talking about Scientology and covering Scientology? I don't know. It's really up to him. So there it is. Although it's supposed to be a little smaller than this. So, all right. Okay, I gotta put a little bit more on that. How long is it gonna take? Oh, geez, I really don't know. But am I gonna make my pie crust after? Most definitely, because it has to sit in the refrigerator overnight. And I'm gonna use a new recipe. I'm not gonna use the old one. So, alrighty. There. It's a little bit too big, but the edges are a little bit too big. So. All right. Now, growing up, of course, I told you there's a dead silence and I don't want dead air. So I know I just told you, but growing up, I never saw one single nun in the church. They definitely is discriminating against women. And when I was growing up, I didn't see one single nun in the Armenian church. Now, I've read somewhere that they're starting to bring them back, but you know what? I'm going to have to see it to believe it. Because let's face it, no church is allowing women to have any kind of power of any kind. Although churches have been known to, some churches have let women take power. One priest actually told me that there are good women that would make wonderful priests and would actually pull for them to represent the Armenian church. But the archdiocese says otherwise. So they're the bosses. So, okay. Now, okay. Now, as you know, some of you have been going hungry while you were in Scientology because of the beans of rice, and they were using it as punishment. In fact, I eat beans and rice because guess what? I'm a vegetarian and trying to be a vegan. Let's face it, I can't find one yogurt that's vegan. The ones I've been running into are made from nuts. So, and believe it or not, yogurt's used on Monte. So I'm going to try and refine a soy base that's plain and used. So I'm going to keep on folding this and pinching it. Now, do people always understand what's going on in every group? No, not really. Maybe they don't understand, but you know what? That's just the way the world works. We're not perfect. So, all right. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut until Thursday. I'm just too excited, so. And then I will plan my recipes on Friday. Oh boy. On Friday. And yeah, guys next door, they're actually going at it. So I can't run out there and tell them, be quiet. No, they're behaving like college students. So there's a college up the street from where I am. So am I going to say what it is? Okay. So I am actually going to take the former Scientologist who got out of Scientology a bit, going under the radar. That's what I'm going to do a bit. All right. There. And now, guess what? Scientology don't have anyone going into the test center much anymore. And if they do go in, it's to actually laugh at them. So, yeah. Once a group abuses you, don't stick around. Of course, there's a bunch of reasons why a person would stick around a control group like that. Is because they're brainwashed too. They can't control any of it. Yeah. Okay. There. Yeah, so far it's supposed to be a little bit more smaller than that, but it's just so weird when I do it. All right. And then after I'm done pinching this and putting it in the oven, I'm going to make my pie crust for tomorrow. I'm going to stick in another one. All right. And I'm going to squeeze it up. Okay. All right. There we go. Now, can we make people actually understand every single thing? No, we can't. That's the bulk of the whole thing. And some of those Scientologists don't understand that abuse is not a religion. It shouldn't even be considered a religion. So I'm finding some way to get rid of the dead air. So, and all you in the mods, are you there? We'll find out. Is green grass there? Or whatever. Okay. And yesterday in the comments, there was a screen name, I read it above, that says Sniper L3I. Now, if you know something about that, please either help that person, because his parents actually is keeping him in Scientology, and he's having a bad time with his mental illness. But if you know something about that screen name, get to me at the comments below. And if you run into that kid, get him to a safe place. Okay. All right. There. Okay. And it does look like Jenna and Aaron are on again. I mean, their relationship is, a little weird, but yeah. And they go back and forth a lot. So now, does this look like they're actually going to break up? Who knows with those two? But guess what? Once you bring it up on your channel, everybody's going to talk about it. Is it called gossip? Yeah, it is. But you know what? Everybody does it cautiously and unconsciously. Everybody. There are no exceptions. Now, even, I don't think they're aware of it. Even the priests and nuns do it. They actually think they're educating other people, but not really, because they bring up some things that doesn't compute. But when they do it, it's called educating them. But when another person does it, it's gossip. And there's a little girl, I don't know her name, she turned around and said witchcraft is gossip, but yet she is on there saying witchcraft is gossip. And guess what? She's doing it too, unconsciously. Everybody does it cautiously and unconsciously. There's no way around it. All righty. Then I'm going to roll out the other dough. Okay. Now, are people aware that they're doing it? No, I'm not even aware that I'm doing it. So, okay. Yeah, it's something everybody does. Should they? Well, no. Whether you say good things about a person or bad things about a person, it's still called gossip. So, okay. Now, are there rules about gossip in Scientology? No. There are no rules. It's a snitch culture in that cult. They want to know every single tidbit that's in there. And they do have a snitching culture according to Aaron and Natalie. And I believe it. Okay. But they stay silent until they decide to leave. Now they're keeping in the people that are there. Those security guards are not there to keep people out. They're there to keep people in. So yeah, it's a bad thing. Oh boy, you know what? Sometimes I'm getting stuck, but I was stuck a little bit, and then I find something to talk about. But if I'm actually talking about something, then that means I did the research and have them all on index by the time I get in there. So I feel, yeah, do I have to actually know my lines by time I get on in front of a camera? Yes, if I have a part in a movie. But since I'm not under any pressure to actually memorize anything, I just use the index cards. So, all right. Now, have I had a part since then? Yeah, it's been years. But since my career went down a notch, when I was 35, I went right back to school. Best thing I ever did. I actually learned how to write and further my expanding mind and using it for the future like I'm doing now. Now, all of you who are not monetized yet and has a Scientology and cult platform, go with an affiliate. I'm still doing it, and I'm actually stuck a little bit. I'm trying to figure out what's going to happen because either I forget the password or they no longer want to use my service, whatever. It's okay. But guess what? There are more sponsors out there. Right, I'm going to put one more. This one. All right. But did I know my lines in the past when I actually had a gig? Yes, I did. My last role I did was in a movie. I was an extra in a movie called The Edge of 17. So look for it. I was an extra. So, and then I came up with this brilliant idea. Of course, the idea was already on there, but I had more ideas that I wanted to do. And since Scientology is not, I think psychiatry is an anti-Scientology stance, I decided to advocate for that. So I ripped up my channel and started advocating. Well, it was originally an animal rights platform, and then one thing came up, and I knew they were against psychiatry, but at the same time, I'm thinking there are psychiatrists on there. No, they're not. They actually hurt those people and actually have them thrown in jail. Not good, Scientology. And so I put that in my platform. Okay. And sorry about the dead air. And oh, lights are in the way, but okay. Alrighty. All right. Come April, I'll be mixing up desserts for Easter. So next month, come back, or I'm usually on air at 4, but Mondays through Fridays, but then I got stressed and so I had to cut it down. So now I'm not getting paid. And for now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I love it. I love what I do. Just like Laura, Serge, they love what they do. And of course, Serge is really talented. He sings backup for Laura FM. And those two are the greatest. He also paints. So, and is my material on eBay yet? No, but I am trying to get it on there. And I will very soon. Okay. I'll try and get it up today. So I have a few more vases to put up. Some of them I'm not even finished with, so you're going to have to probably hang on a little bit more longer. I also have canvases that I painted. Oh, am I going to have a hard time giving it up? Oh my gosh, probably. All right. And yeah, I haven't ran into much Scientology-like content. Now, and yeah, I mean, everybody's just celebrating Aaron's victory over that screwed up organization. So, I mean, I'm saying I'm not in shock because everybody in that town knows what Scientology is up to. So, and you know what? It keeps coming up with subjects. So, and that's what I keep bringing it up because it's exciting. Okay. Is this taking a while? Yeah, it's like a real big project, pinching and putting in the beef. Yes, it is a huge project. And and this is the Middle Eastern dish that they made in Armenia for years and years. And they probably do make it all over the Middle East. They have to be, since it's Middle Eastern dish. So, and they put the dumpling in the broth, is what they do. And I really love being with you all. Now, I hope my content didn't scare you any further. Sorry about that. So I'm back to human animal audit corner. I'm back to that. So look for that. Type that one in. Okay, got 2 more here. And then I'm going to roll out my other dough. Okay. And then I'm going to make my pie crust for the pot pie for tomorrow dinner. So tomorrow morning, I am going to do my, it looks like tomorrow I'm going to be shopping tomorrow morning, and then I'll come on for dinner. But next week, we'll have my brunch. Okay. All right. Oh, this is just so exciting. And I'll move as fast as I can, and I won't bore you. So. And of course, you all know 95% of the time, I'm going to talk about Scientology. Of course, Scientology has been suckering people for years. They've been lying to people for years. I was flabbergasted when I found out the truth. When I put two and two together, and then I hopped on, and Aaron was the first face I ever saw. I was really shocked. Now, how did I come about actually wanting to tackle on Scientology? I have materials that I'm writing for a book. And it's, am I going to give you the name? Yeah, I'm starting to talk to publishers, and I'm going to publish my work. So I don't want my money being wasted when I went to school. So I am going to use my education really well. So I wrote, and then I lost half my pages when I accidentally mixed it up with my pictures. So it looks like I'm going to send my words first and then my pictures second, because believe it or not, I think it probably screwed up my delivery. But things that is looking up for that. They said, one publisher said, it sounds pretty interesting, but it wasn't for them. But they liked the idea, but they couldn't take it. They had to pass. So, okay, now I'm going to roll out my other dough. Now, I'm not going to use my pinwheel. I'm just going to use my glass. But if you have an old rolling pin that it's not really good, or it's broken, or the paint's coming off, use a glass and roll it out. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to use my second one. Is it forming a crust? Oh, geez. Well, it's not that bad, but make sure there's no crust on the top of it, because it's not going to go well. And when I was a little girl, my mother used to make this all the time, and my brother and I used to eat it raw. Not raw. When it came out of the oven, we started eating them before my mother even put it in as a dumpling. It was exciting. Okay. So we roll it out. Just use any glass. My entire life, I've been creative, and I'm not going to stop doing that. And this show actually used my own creativity. And I do improv. So I'm coming up with stories right on the spot, because I am trying to do that. So, and the improv, it's so much fun. Okay. And do I have a regular job? I decided to wait off on that and rest up as much as I can before going back to work, because I am getting older and I'm not planning on retiring. That's just something I want to do. I just want to keep on working, and at the same time, I am getting older, so I actually have to slow down just a little bit. So I'm waiting for one business to open where I am, and then I'll go back to work. What's going to open? I'm not going to tell you. So sorry. All right. Right now, my lights are broken. I mean, the thing that attaches to my Chromebook broke, so I'm actually laying it on there. So should I actually buy a new one? Oh, possibly. But yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Now, after you're done actually splitting your dough in half, put it back together because you just don't want those crusts to form. So take out as much as you can. Okay. Because it's going to be as hard as a rock, and you don't want it as hard as a rock. So this is the dumpling. And then at the end, after I put this in the oven, I am going to say out the recipe on what it is. And then I am going to actually, oh, geez. Gonna cut this after it's done. Yeah, it did form a crust a little bit. Just make sure there's no crust on top of it because it's really not supposed to be there. All right. If there's something hard on top, just take it off. But do the best you can. All right. All right. Now I am going to cut this with a pizza cutter. It's much more simpler to do. So here we go. All right. Well, okay, let me roll this thing out a little bit more. But be sure to have everything out of the way because you're going to have to roll it out. All right. Now you're going to roll it into six. And it's going to be a strip. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If it has more than 6, don't worry about it. All right, and then you're going to actually go on top, go on the sides. After you make the strips, turn it into a piece. Going vertically. No, going down. Math, I am not so good at math. So. All right. Now, do I eat it raw? Yeah. Well, yeah, sometimes. But there's no eggs in this one, so yeah, I eat it. This is a vegan recipe, but it's good to actually have. Okay, so, all righty. So, I have to... roll this out. All right. Oh, one is bigger than the other. Jeez. All right, so we're going to pop this onto each and every piece of dough. And then we're going to squeeze the sides. I hope I'm not boring you guys there. All right. Now, okay, it is taking a while, isn't it? But I still want to make my pop by tonight. And what time is it? Oh, geez, that I don't know. Okay, but it's okay. All right, looks like it's okay. It's 6:53. So it looks like I'm gonna have to do my pot by tomorrow. So I hope you turn in then. And then I'll show you how this Monte turned out. So it's pretty cool. So I'll definitely okay. All right. And when you cut into squares, make sure one square is not bigger than another. I'm pretty clumsy at that. So, and it's getting a little late, and I gotta eat. So it's going on 7, and it's a good idea to. Well, in your case, if you're a Scientologist, it's okay to eat late because that stuff has to sit in you. But if you weren't in Scientology, eat before 7. So, all right. And the rest I'll just, all right. All right. I didn't think it was going to go this late because the time is just going by fast, and we're going to soon actually set a class ahead for daylight savings time, or late, whatever it is they call it. And all right, now we are going to pinch both sides of the Monte. So we pinch. Of course, mine's a little bit too big. Then we're going to put it on the tray. Okay. So I'm going to have to cut this one. So make sure one half is not bigger than the other half. All right. It's supposed to look like this. Okay. Pinch the sides. Yes, sorry it's taken so long. So, all right. This is a time-consuming project. So, and boy, is it good. It's great. Now, sometimes with veganism, they use tofu for it. Okay. More in. And then if you want to get in touch with me, emails down below. And if you have a mental health issue and you want to have mental health care, there are links in the bottom of my page or channel, and you get it there. And my recommendation is NAMI. They have an excellent program in the National Center for Mental Illness. I think that's the name. Okay. Let's see here. All righty. Oh, I did not put live chat, so let's see here. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know where my head is. So, all right. Okay. All right. Sorry about the dead air. Let's see. Yeah, so, and if you actually are looking for a job too, besides the Aftermath Foundation and the SPTV Foundation that will hook you up with a job, there is actually a program called Clubhouse International. It's a worldwide organization helping people with mental illness, and I can imagine trauma, get a job. But however, not only they help them find a job, it's actually a club, so they would have activities such as karaoke, holiday parties. They would have all these activities. So I highly recommend that. And in Florida, where you guys are, there are about 8 Clubhouse Internationals in that state. Here, there's about 3. One of them is Rainbow House, Magnolia Clubhouse, and there's one other one, I think, in Cincinnati, I think. Yeah. Call up and make an appointment to take the tour. So it is, and plus they have lunches. They will have lunch for you. So it's an excellent program. Besides finding a job, like the Aftermath Foundation and the SPTV Foundation has, they also have activities and they also have lunch for you. So it is so exciting. Am I planning to go back? Yes, because I'm in that program as oh geez, as a client. So I'm there 24/7. I do go there sometimes if I'm not tying up writing stories and planning my menus for you guys. Okay. So it is a pretty exciting place to go. And then worldwide, they have one in Japan, Denmark, London, or England. Where? Oh, geez. I don't know. Now, hopefully, not only the Aftermath Foundation will help you find a job, they will help you too. But only they got a little more since it's a club. They have all the activities and they give you lunch. Okay. All righty. All right. Okay. Now, what am I going to get tomorrow and what am I going to make the next week? I won't know till next week. So, okay. Now, all right. All righty. All right. Sorry about the dead silence. Okay. Now, how is every situation going there with people going to Magnolia? I mean, the places that I mentioned, I don't know because I haven't asked anyone, and they keep that confidential. So there's no way that anyone's going to know about it until they actually get there. So am I going to add more segments and changes to my channel? And yes, I am, like I mentioned earlier. How many more stuff am I going to add to it? Now, I added my art segment, my kitchen segment, I came up with a monologue segment, creating a story that makes people laugh, a monologue, which I'm trained to do. And am I gonna do something else? Am I gonna protest? Yeah, it's gonna be a while before I do that because it's not gonna be healthy for me to actually have somebody follow me home. Although I did go on a protest, but it was a different situation since, guess what? They never even followed me home. So yeah, it's a different situation. Just, I mean, if you're going to protest, please go in a group because there might be crazy people like Scientology following you home. And some people did experience that. So I'm holding off on that until I get PETA to actually go on the protest. It has to be a large group, larger than 5, because Scientology is really dangerous. They're a dangerous cult. And yeah, and that's the cult that Tom Cruise is in, that Jenna Elfman's in, that John Travolta's in. Only John Travolta's a great guy. Now, my theater professor told me that he is a nice guy. So something's probably holding them there, but at the same time, he's still giving his money to them. So yeah, it's just a weird situation. But only Tom Cruise is a tyrant. He turned into a tyrant, and since David Miscavige is his buddy, yeah, he turned into another replica of him. All right. And it is just horrible. So he thinks whatever he does makes sense, which it doesn't. And he is starting to yell at people. And you heard his tyrants on on the screen. So, and half of them don't even like him as a person, but they respect him as an actor. He is the most brilliant actor on earth. Did he go from good to evil? It looks that way because in the past, all his interviews were so professional. Now it's horrible. He's saying horrible things to people. Yeah, it's just a bad situation. Now, are they going to find me? I don't think so, because you know why? Okay. Now, oh geez, I'm almost done here, so, and then we'll call it a day. And this is just so time consuming. It's almost going on 2 hours, so it looks like I'm gonna have to hold off on making the pie crust until tomorrow, and then it looks like I'm gonna have it done on Monday, because it's just so time consuming, and you have to let the dough sit overnight. So, but I'll let you know tomorrow first thing. And it's pretty quiet this way. Me not going to protests and me having this show. And is it a good idea for me to go out there? No, because I don't want anyone following me home. Then I get all nervous, and then it's gonna make me go into meltdown. I'll start to scream. It's not healthy for me. So, all right. But it looks like it works for some people. Yeah, I mean, I can't have people ruin my life. It's a horrible thing. And now the protesters' lives are getting ruined, and some of them backed out. And would I say shame on you, Scientologists? Yes. It's a horrible thing to do. So, Tom Cruise, consider bowing out, because that show's not doing you any good. Because guess what? You decide to separate yourself from your little girl. And in my book, that's called child abandonment. I don't care if you are paying for her college and her doctor's bills. I don't care. You have to be in the same room with her. Okay. Now, there are people out there who'll be excellent parents and not parents. And they should be parents. And this is the people with the same personality as I am. Should I be a parent? Yes, but that ship has sailed, and you took advantage of that. So, oh boy. Now, please, everybody, see your children. Those of you who are in Scientology, please, go see your family. Don't disconnect from them. And don't care what David Miscavige says either. And don't let Scientology keep you from your family. And it's not doing you guys any good. So just leave. You're getting tortured. You're being treated as a slave. And Phil Anderson, your daughter is thinking a lot of you. She loves you and she wants you back. So please go to her. And all the rest of you, please consider it. Go back to your families. And there's a little boy, a teenager, who wants to go home. Let him go. And please, do not write any letters to me if you're going to be negative towards me either. The same negativity you have against your members. If you're going to hurt me that way, don't write me. But those of you who are leaving and wants to acknowledge me, that's fine. Get to my email down below. All right. Now, okay. Now, I'm saying all of this to you guys because I'm thinking a lot of you. And there are people who are protesting who love you and want you out. They're thinking of you when they're out there protesting in Florida and in Los Angeles and other parts, especially my hometown of Boston. But if you're there looking for me, don't. Okay. Because I'm not going to tell you where I'm living. Okay. All right. Oh, sorry about the dead silence again. I'm trying to come up with another conversation. I'm really sorry about that. But it's so great to be with you all. And I'll have your Popeye tomorrow. I'll be making my Popeye tomorrow night. And then I'll do it. Okay, this is the last one. And it took 2 hours to make, so it's really time consuming to make this. So because you have to pinch both ends and it may look fast, but it isn't. So, okay. And am I going to make dessert tomorrow? Possibly not, because I already got dessert in the refrigerator and I don't want to develop bad health problems. All right, now it is time to put my Monte in the oven, and then we're going to call it a night because we're into 2 hours. So, all right. All right, we're going to put this in the oven and then call it a night. So, all right, you want to contribute into keeping my channel going? Go to PayPal or buy me a coffee. I'm still working on buying me a coffee because I can't figure it out. So I have to possibly make a call to them and help me with that thing. And so, or go to my PayPal. But if you can't afford to contribute in keeping my channel going, don't pay me. Just watch and it'll be okay with me. So hit the like, press subscribe, and I'm going to see you tomorrow at, I think 5. So, bye.